Security guard thing. Yeah, I got the one thing. I'm waiting for me. So it's like everything was coming in. So no. And I got detours and I went up around the small point. He ended up passing it off. We were able to find him when he was passed out. He was winning. What was his? Come on, man.
I mean, I want that one back eventually, but.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call.
Councilmember Rasher?
Here.
Councilmember Woodward?
Here.
Councilmember Brenner?
Here.
Councilmember Jenks?
Here.
Councilmember Bennett? Here. Councilmember Durr will be absent, and Council President Moll.
Here. There was an executive session before tonight's meeting to discuss real estate matters. Is there any public comment related to the subjects on this evening's agenda?
I may have, I'm not clear, the chief said that he would bring this in the agenda. The issue with the hidden driveway, chief, is that on the,
I have it in my report.
you have it in your report, so is that considered agenda?
Yes?
Michelle, can you play that? And I'm gonna leave this. So this was presented at Fire and Police. This is a situation going up the hill on Cardinal, on the north side of Cardinal Road. At this specifically at around 9 o'clock in the morning. And as you see, the drivers are hit with the sun straight in the, in their eyes. And the request was to place a hidden driveway somewhere here before the top of the hill. Right here to the right, this is our driveway. So any that driver coming, if we back up the driveway, they simply cannot see it. And we had many near misses. I'm referring, I'm gonna submit this as a paper too. You can imagine a landscape contractor coming. They usually accelerate uphill and they gather speed because they have a heavy load and they're very difficult to stop. And mostly they come early in the morning. So those are the most typical situations. Usually people on the street know about the situation, but the deliveries, like I said, contractors, they don't know, and maybe there's a new driver. So we had that situation happening many times when they simply hit the brakes, seeing us right across the street right at this point. And for us, we can't see them either. So I think it's not a big deal. We even offered the chief to pay for the sign if that is a problem. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. That's it. Thank you. I'm going to submit this as a paper. Thank you.
Thank you. We have on the agenda a presentation by the representative from Representative Houlihan's. And you're Santiago Serrano?
Well, thank you so much for giving me this time to present today. Like you said, I'm coming from Representative Christy Houlihan's office, and I just want to talk a little bit about Representative Houlihan, of course, and what our office does, what services we provide to our constituents. So Representative Houlihan, she is a third generation veteran. She's an engineer by training. She's an entrepreneur and a former educator. She's the first woman to represent Pennsylvania 6th Congressional District, which includes all of Chester and Southern counties. She's committed to fighting for access, equality, affordable healthcare, government accountability, and transparency, and working to build a strong, stable economy with good jobs and good benefits for everyone. Representative Houlihan, she's also involved in certain committees and caucuses. She is involved in the armed services, the foreign affairs, and small business committees. And she also serves in the Service of Women and Women Veterans Congressional Caucus, the Women's STEM Caucus, the Problems Policy Caucus, etc. So when it comes to the services that our office provides to our constituents, normally we hear constituents complain about a federal agency. We can send a congressional inquiry to the federal agency on their behalf if they're having an issue. Let's say, for example, if the constituent is having an issue with their tax refund from the IRS, we can send that inquiry to the Taxpayer Advocate Service to the IRS. If the constituent needs a passport, we can assist with contacting the passport agencies on their behalf. And this goes with all federal agencies such as the Veteran Affairs, Social Security, etc. So through these services, we have returned in the 117th Congress 101,486 constituent emails, letters, and phones. We have also secured $4,316,000 for constituents through casework services. And we have closed a total of 3,256 cases since taking office in 2019. When it comes to leadership during the pandemic, our Representative Houlihan, she convened the Q&A sessions of the Chamber of Commerce membership. She met with small business owners and provided frequent updates on relevant programs such as PPP, and she discussed challenges and opportunities with skilled trades organizations in the communities. So when it comes to securing money for local projects, Representative Houlihan, she has worked across the aisle in Congress to advocate and secure over $24.2 million for priority projects in our community, including bus replacements, improved public transportation access, stormwater repairs, electric vehicle charging stations, a mobile medical facility for low-income and rural Pennsylvanians, a STEM program at Harvard University, and youth vocational training. So our office, if there is a municipality, there's a nonprofit that they are aiming for federal funds. If there's a grant available by the federal government, our office can provide a letter of support. If the municipality has any is aiming for any federal funds for any projects, of course, feel free to, I have my business cards, I will leave them here. Feel free to reach out to me, and I will connect you with my colleague who handles those requests. We cannot tell you which fundings to apply for, but we can certainly provide a letter of support if you have identified a federal grant. All right. So when it comes to legislative actions, and I apologize, I do have 2 pages to go through. Representative Houlihan, she assisted in passing the American Rescue Plan, which included $170 billion for K-12 and higher education, $20 billion for national vaccination program, $27 billion for emergency and rental assistance, $350 billion for local government relief, which supports vital public services, replace lost revenue, or make necessary investments in water, sewer, and broadband. And of course, the $1,400 for every eligible American. In she also assisted in passing the bipartisan infrastructure investment and jobs acts. This aimed to improve the currency credit level given to United States infrastructure from the American Society of Civil Engineers. Our office, we have 3 offices. We have 1 office in Washington, D.C., of course, then we have 2 offices in the district. One is located in Westchester, which is our main office in the district, but we do have a satellite office in the city of Reading, in City Hall, and we are open from Wednesday to Fridays, and Mondays and Tuesdays by appointment. If there is any questions, I'll be willing to try to answer any questions that I can answer, or take any comments, or whatever it is.
Any questions for the Mr. Serrano?
Yes.
Representative Houlihan supports the B bill, correct?
She voted for the bill got better?
Yes.
She voted for it, it's now at the hands of the Senate.
And she supports, she said she's on the committee for small businesses, yet in that bill, there is a ton of money to hire more IRS agents, which will always go and be looking at and hurt small businesses. Big businesses already have their own accountants. Why would she be for something that is going to hamstring and hurt small businesses?
So if you want, you can take my business card. I cannot give an answer for you. I will have to ask the representative. And I can get back to you to answer your question.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure, of course. So thank you so much for giving me this time, and I appreciate. I know you guys are busy.
Have a good evening. Thank you. May we have a motion to receive all the reports, committee? Second? Second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Ayes have it. The first item on the agenda, the council meeting from the November the 9th meeting. Is there any amendments that need to be made to those amendments? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving those minutes, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Ayes have it. Police chief and mayor's report. Chief, mayor.
I have nothing further to add. Chief, as always, will be glad to answer any questions after he makes a few opening remarks. Chief?
I understand that there's a lot on the agenda here for tonight, so I'll be real brief. I'll basically say that I'll let the report speak for itself. If anybody has any questions about anything, I'll be glad to answer. But I wanted to just discuss two things quickly. One, I have in my items of interest. As you know, we did the No Shave November. I have in here that we raised over $2,000. The final totals just came in, so we were able to raise $2,500. We gave the check today to representative of the board for Wayne's Legacy of Hope, so I'm proud of our people, what they did. So it was something nice to do for the community and for kids with cancer. The second is I wanted to talk to you about Mr. Jadick's video that he showed here. I did have the traffic counter up on Cardinal Road. I found that we counted 1,317 vehicles during the time period it was there. It came to an average of 82.3 cars per day. The posted speed limit there was 25, and the 85th percentile speed was found to be 20.37 miles per hour. So, well, people are going slow on Cardinal Road, so that's a good thing. So,
It's okay, I just was thinking of something else you said.
So, with Mr. Jadick's request, I don't see a lot of traffic being up there, so I don't know that we have necessarily a need for another sign, but the concern with the sun, it obviously does occur, but the sign's not gonna stop the sun from coming up and blinding people, so.
Yeah, but that's not.
I personally don't think that we need it, but that would be council's ultimate decision whether to put it on there or not.
May I make two small, short comments?
No.
Okay.
Anybody wish to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we deny Mr. Jay's request.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Ayes have it, motion carries.
But then again, like I said, I know you guys have a lot to discuss tonight. If you have any questions, since you've got the report, I'll be glad to answer, but I'll make it nice and quick so we can get on to everything else.
Thank you, Chief. Fire Commissioner's report, Bill.
Okay, during the month of November, the fire department responded to 165 calls for service. Of those, 16 were fire calls, 87 were EMS calls, resulting in $1,500 in damage. Total responses within the borough were 110, and outside the borough were 55. Average response time leaving the station was well below the NFPA standard, was 1 minute and 54 seconds. And total responses year to date, 1,606.
council. Motion to accept the reports. Second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Is that for the police report and,
Police and fire. Jody, library.
Yes, good evening. The library board met on November 15th. Operations of the library seem to be going well. They're currently doing the community outreach project that's been organized by the new children's librarian. They're preparing messages to go in holiday cards, and working with Michelle Barbecue to send those out to active duty military. Their membership drive is underway. The information was mailed out just in the past few weeks. Their basket raffle was very successful this year, and I know they were very appreciative of the borough, their tables that were set up, Raymond Greens, they really liked the location, and they did very well there. So they appreciate that. 2,800? Oh, wow,
Yep.
okay, we're just getting the figures.
Just got that figure yesterday.
And that's a very good year
Yeah.
for the basket raffle, so very appreciated. And they are still looking for people who are interested in serving on their board as at-large members. So if anyone is interested in that, you can contact Colleen at the library. The next meeting will be December 20th. Any questions? All right.
All those in favor of accepting the library report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Infrastructure.
Try to, Steve, go ahead.
Steve?
No, no.
Swan song.
Check it out from the list.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, all right, we need a, on the list, we have, the item here for the proposed budget to include the additional 2% for the water increase as an expenditure, and 5% that was already budgeted, and to increase the borough's consumer water rates by 2% for 2022. And I will make that motion.
We have a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Melissa, we have a roll call, please.
Councilmember Boucher,
Yes?
Councilmember Woodward,
Yes.
Councilmember Brenner,
Yes.
Councilmember James,
Yes.
Councilmember Bennett,
Yes.
Council President Moll.
Yes.
Okay, we'll need again, a motion to table, approve, or deny authorizing payment for payment application number 3 in the amount of $21,041.06 for the 2021 sanitary sewer rehab and televising to Sewer Specialty Services, Inc. Contingent upon several follow-up items needing to be completed, and Jim is.
They've been completed.
Okay. Jim says those items have been completed, and so I'll make the motion to pay the bill.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Melissa?
Councilmember Boucher,
Yes?
Councilmember Woodward,
Yes.
Councilmember Brenner,
Yes.
Councilmember James,
Yes.
Councilmember Bennett,
Yes.
and Council President Moll.
Yes.
Okay, a motion is needed again to table, approve, or deny, authorizing payment number 3 in the amount of $23,903.68 for the 50/50 sidewalk repair to Affordable Paving and Excavating LLC. And I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Jim, did that all go smoothly there?
Yeah, the bills went out a week or two ago, and I have not received one phone call, so that's a good thing.
Good.
There'll be a final retainage release at December's infrastructure, but yes, they go well.
Councilmember Boucher,
Yes.
Councilmember Woodward,
Yes.
Councilmember Brenner,
Yes.
Councilmember James,
Yes.
Councilmember Bennett,
Yes.
and Council President Moll.
Yes.
Okay, and a motion is needed to table, approve, or deny authorizing payment of payment application number 3, final payment in the amount of $17,521.63 to H&K Group, Inc., contingent upon follow-up items needing to be completed, and I'll make the motion.
Second.
And Jim, it's all,
Make it good there.
all right.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bashir?
Yes?
Councilmember Woodward?
Yes.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Jenks?
Yes.
Councilmember Bennett?
Yes.
And Council President Wong.
Yes.
Okay, and a motion is needed again to table, approve, or deny, authorizing acting borough manager to write a letter to PennDOT indicating the borough's desire to have the bridge repainted the same colors currently on the bridge, utilizing PennDOT specifications with no desire for a community mural. We'll let that up to the local actors, I guess. And that is the Park Road Bridge, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
And then I'll make this last one too. Approve or deny or amend the infrastructure, we don't have to do anything there, do we? No, was anything added?
No.
Oh, okay.
Make a motion to, receive approve the infrastructure report.
So moved.
Okay. Personnel Committee.
Again, review, okay, a motion is needed to table, approve or deny, authorizing the recruitment and promotion among public works staff for the Public Works Department lead maintenance worker position.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Motion needed to table, approve or deny, authorizing the recruitment by advertising for the Public Works maintenance crew position.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
And motion needed to table, approve or deny, Public Works Department lead maintenance worker job description, subject to the addition of various safety-related job responsibilities to that description.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Motion needed to table, approve or deny, Borough Hall administrative staff to carry over up to 60 hours of unused vacation time from 2021 to 2022, under the guidelines that an employee must notify their supervisor of the intent to carry over their determined quantity of vacation by the end of 2021, and rolled over vacation must be used within the first quarter of 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Ayes have it.
That is all.
All those in favor of accepting the Personnel Committee report, please signify by saying aye. Ayes have it. Rec Board, Steve.
All right. Rec board met on November 16th. Michelle, you put that up on the page somewhere. Dan, I'll let you speak of it, but we've had some holiday lights fun run December 8th. I think there's another one tomorrow night, the 15th, and one on the 22nd throughout the different parts of the borough. It's something new that I haven't seen done in the borough. The lighting of the greens was last Sunday. Is that right? Saturday, sorry. Seemed to go over very well. Let Dan finish with that. He can talk to about it. The board spoke about recreation events in the future and how the board can develop a partnership with the school districts and various school clubs, which I think is a great idea. And they also brought up the board to discuss the structure of student advisory committees. I think we have a pretty good feeling of what's going on in the rec for the younger kids. It's those young teenagers that we lose pretty quickly, and I think the people that can help us with that would be a student advisory board. So as much as I wasn't involved in that decision, I think it's a great idea. I'd like to thank Eric Esterbrook, I know it's coming up later, for his years of service on the rec board. Dan, anything else?
I just want to point out the first holiday lights fun run was, on the 8th, and we're, collecting non-perishable items, as well as cash donations, to benefit First, Helping Harvest, and we've got a considerable amount of, non-perishable items and about $130 in donations, and that was just for the first night. So tomorrow we'll be in Berkshire Heights area of the borough, and then next Wednesday we'll be in the area surrounding the high school. So we're hitting all 3 major areas of the borough. So that's all for me.
All those in favor of accepting the rec board report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Economic development, John.
Well, the report is kind of self-explanatory, and there's no action to be taken. That's all I have.
Succinct.
All those in favor of accepting economic development report, please signify by saying aye. Ayes have it. Fire and Police Committee, Bill.
Okay, Fire and Police Committee met on November the 30th. Fire Department, no additional information needs to be brought out. Wanted to note under Westernburg ambulance, they responded to 292 calls for service in the borough, and Narcan was administered twice during the month. Okay, only action for this evening is Police Chief Phillips reported that due to supply issues, it's unlikely the expedition will be available in 2022. He is recommending a new Ford F-150 pickup truck. And the price difference with CoStar's pricing is approximately $4,000 less than the Expedition. Having said that, the committee is recommending council authorize the purchase of the police department Ford F-150 pickup truck for a base price of $38,129 instead of the Ford Expedition previously discussed and budgeted for. And I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Melissa?
Councilmember Boucher?
Yes.
Councilmember Woodward?
Yes.
Councilmember Brunner?
Mm-hmm.
Councilmember Jenks?
Yes.
Sorry.
Councilmember Menon?
Yes.
And Council President Hall?
Yep. Sorry. That's all those in favor of accepting the Fire and Police Committee report, please signify by saying aye. Ayes have it. Planning Commission, John.
Okay, we met on December 6th at 3:30, and I'd recommend the council grant 19 State Hill Road waiver from the Saldo ordinance architectural scale requirements from 1 inch equals 20 feet to the required 1 inch equals 50 feet. We do it all the time, and I so move.
Second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
I also, Planning Commission recommends council grant 19 State Hill Road the waiver from the Saldo ordinance clear sight triangle conditional upon safe stopping distance being provided to the north. And I so move.
Second?
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Planning Commission voted to table further discussion on the traffic impact study until the developer provides the borough with an estimate cost for a traffic impact study on 19 State Hill Road. And I so move.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Okay, we're still on 19 State Hill Road, and the Planning Commission recommends we amend the agenda to discuss the waiver from section 303.1 of the Saldo as preliminary final land development, and I so move.
That was just what the committee we need to change the agenda, right?
Yeah.
Do I have to do that, Nikki, or no?
No,
No.
so,
Okay, cool. Okay, we're still on 19 State Hill. Planning Commission recommends the council grant 19 State Hill Road the waiver from Saldo ordinance as to preliminary final plan submission. I so move.
Second?
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
So, Planning Commission also wishes council to consider to table the conditional final plan approval of this time, at this time. Do we have to do that, Chris?
No, we just need to act on the time extension.
yeah, we just need a time extension.
Okay. Okay, Planning Commission recommends council accept the forthcoming 90-day time extension letter for 19 State Hill Road, subject to the letter being received before December 14th, 2021 Borough Council meeting, which is tonight, for the Borough of Wyomissing Planning Commission to take action on the submitted plans, and I so move. Did we get that letter?
Got it on Sunday.
Thank you. I so move.
Second. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Now we're gonna move on to the Highlands. Planning Commission recommends council accept the 90-day time extension letter for the Highlands for the Borough of Wyomissing Planning Commission to take action on the submitted plans, and I so move.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Ayes have it.
And finally, we have, Planning Commission wishes to approve sending the draft ordinance to the Berks County Planning Commission for review and comment, and to recommend council approve advertisement and adoption of the ordinance contingent upon Borough Solicitor Hartman revising the draft ordinance to address the fire marshal's concerns, and I so move.
Second?
Second.
We have a motion and a
So
second.
that green and yellow stuff in the email, is that?
That's been taken care of.
Okay, that's great.
I had to print that off.
I read it.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
That's all I have.
What's on the agenda yet is the title of the draft ordinance regarding wireless communications amendments to the zoning ordinance. That's part of the motion John already made. And then there's on the agenda a motion for advertising, but John's motion already included authorization for advertising, so I don't think we need any further action on item Roman numeral I or 9 on the agenda.
Okay.
So you could accept the report.
All those in favor of accepting the planning commission report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Finance administration, Steve.
Okay, the Finance and Admin Committee met on December 9th. Some highlights, end of November, it looks like the cash and investment balance will be $10,562,000 and change, which is a decrease of just under $300,000. Makes sense, there's not a whole lot of income coming in the month of November. November's expenses obviously exceeded income by almost $600,000. Do this for the 2022 budget, which I guess we'll talk about later, is that right? We'll do that part
It's
later.
coming in later.
Coming up.
Okay. But for the 2021 year-end projections, that we feel that revenues are going to be $21,900,000 and expenses are going to be $20,700,000 rounding off, leaving us a net revenue in excess of about $1.186 million. Keeping in mind that we budgeted a deficit of over $1 million for last year. So I thought that's important to note. We discussed the dump truck. Long and short of it is we need to order a dump truck. It costs $6,000 more than we thought, but it's not going to really be paid until the 2023 budget, so it's not something that we budgeted for, but we do have to start that process. So The committee is making a recommendation to approve placing the order for the Public Works dump truck with a revised budget price of $181,680.75 to be delivered and paid for in 2023. And I'll make that recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second.
Melissa?
Councilmember Boucher?
Yes.
Councilmember Woodward?
Yes.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Jenks?
Yes.
Councilmember Menon?
Yes.
And Council President Wall.
Yes.
Okay, then we have the 2022 water rates. I think we already discussed those, correct?
It was approved in concept, but we should have got the resolution.
So the resolution 2021-34, resolution of the council of the borough of Wyomissing, Berks County, Pennsylvania, to amend the water rates. And I'll go ahead and make that motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
I'd like to mention that just a pass-through from what we get charged. And we also have resolution 2021-35, a resolution of the borough of Wyomissing revising, and updating the borough's fee schedule. I'll go ahead and make that motion.
We have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
The HRA policy, it's a health reimbursement account policy. We changed carriers, and the committee is making a recommendation to council to approve the health reimbursement account, or HRA policy, to be implemented beginning in 2022. I'll go ahead and make that motion also.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
iPad policy, since it looks like council and the mayor will get iPads starting next year. So the committee is recommending council approve the iPad policy to be implemented beginning of 2022 with the distribution of the iPads. I'll make that recommendation.
Second? Second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Ayes have it.
The committee also, we heard from Jen Reimer about, talking about committee meetings, and we are also recommending the council to approve the use of the website to post council-approved committee meeting minutes beginning in 2022, and recommend council further discuss how they would like to proceed with posting the draft of council minutes at their website. So I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Won't talk much about text.my.gov, there's nothing to talk about at this point, right? So, just a way that we can, it's a way we're researching to be able to be in contact with the residents quickly, in a different way, in a different manner. As far as the Greater Reading Chamber Alliance, the committee is making a recommendation to approve the in-house supervisor training from the Greater Reading Chamber Alliance. And that will cost $7,800 to be held in 2022. And I'll go ahead and make that motion.
Second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Boucher?
Yes.
Councilmember Woodward?
Yes.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Jenks?
Yes.
Councilmember Menon?
Yes.
And Council President Wall.
Yes.
Okay, discussion came up about, especially dealing with the recreation and related events that, with the FBI and child abuse clearances. So the committee is recommending council to authorize the implementation of the policy to have all members of the recreation board and borough staff coming in contact with youth to undergo the FBI child abuse clearance checks. And I will make that motion.
And who pays for that?
We do.
Second.
We do it for summer staff
Yeah.
and,
Oh.
but not for actual rec board members or general borough staff.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Okay, under some old business, we have to revise in the MMO. We're gonna increase the quarter four MMO due to the approximate $5,000 adjustment in the payroll. So the committee is making a recommendation to approve the revised fourth quarter or Q4 MMO contribution to $187,782.58. I assume that's supposed to be period, not another comma. And I'll make that motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second. All those in favor? Oh, hang on. Melissa, go ahead.
Councilmember Boucher?
Yes.
Councilmember Woodward?
Yes.
Councilmember Brenner?
Yes.
Councilmember Jenks?
Yes.
Councilmember Menon?
Yes.
And Council President Wall.
Yes.
Yeah, then there was some discussion in an executive committee, then we came out and after discussion with Michelle and her role as acting borough manager, we wanted to give her as much support as we possibly could, so some of us came up with an idea and recommended it to the committee, and the committee is making a recommendation to council to approve negotiating with David Boucher for the management consulting services to assist acting borough manager Michelle Bear. I'll give you some information, I guess, later, but I'll make that recommendation.
Second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Just so we know, the intent is for a few hours at most a week, and it's just there to gain his, I would say his, I don't know.
Institutional
Yeah,
knowledge.
the extent of his institutional knowledge is more than I'll ever forget, so, he'll forget more than I'll ever know is what I'm trying to get at, but, I think it's a good idea, and, I have spoken to him, and he is more so in agreement. Would love to do it as soon as the beginning of the year starts. The only thing I will say is thank you to the Finance and Admin Committee. It's been a long couple of months with the budget. Thank you to Phyllis, Michelle, and your team. Nice job. The meetings didn't last too long. Each time, we had a lot of them, but they didn't last too long. And I think we're in a good spot. When the budget does come up, I'll make one comment at that point, but that's all I have for now.
All those in favor of accepting the Finance Administration Committee report, please signify by saying aye. Ayes have it. Thank you. Michelle? Wrong.
Sorry, I'm trying to do double duty here. Oh, it's back on the agenda, I'm sorry. Okay. Western Berks Water Authority meeting minutes of November 13th, 2021 are in your packets for review, as well as a municipal notification is included in your packet from the Berks County Solid Waste Authority notifying the borough of the authority's intent to initiate a revision to the 2014 County Municipal Waste Management Plan, which will expire in 2024. I have completed and submitted 2 participant registration forms for the National Opioid Settlement through the Attorney General's Office, which are required for participation in that settlement. And Chris, as of yesterday now also, or this morning I guess, has copies of those as well. I'm respectfully requesting a motion to table, approve, or deny accepting an offer made on Municipid for a 2000 Ford Explorer the borough had listed for sale with a price of $675.
Wow. Big bucks.
That was Dave Boucher's car at one point.
Blue Bomber.
Blue Bomber.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Respectfully requesting a motion to prepare and submit a letter to the Office of the Budget to formally accept a $1 million redevelopment assistance capital program grant for the Public Works Garage.
Someone willing to make that motion?
Second.
Motion, second?
Do you want to talk about that at all? In essence, we received a $1 million grant when we were asking for 2.5, is that right, at the beginning?
We were asking for $2 million with our original cost estimate for the total project at $4 million.
So, obviously, we're thankful for getting the money, but, doesn't quite cover the budget.
And then some.
Yeah, there's a 5-year wait on those, so, Michelle and I were on a call last Friday, with our people. And basically, I think the right thing to do is to just keep it, accept the bid, accept the award, but not use the money until, if we use the money for something else, try to get it assigned for something else, we'll never get the borough garage done. So I think it's a good idea to just keep the money, don't accept the award, don't get the money until we apply for other grants that will help us build that garage somewhere down the road. So that's about it. Is that good? Okay.
Okay, we have a motion. We need a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anybody not like-minded? Motion carries.
As a friendly reminder, Borough Hall will be closed on Friday, December 24th, Monday, December 27th, and Friday, December 31st In observance of the holidays, on behalf of all borough staff, we'd like to wish council and our residents a very happy holiday and happy new year.
Thank you, Michelle. All those in favor of accepting the Borough Manager's report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, thank you. Treasurer's, next on the item is the Treasurer's Statement of Operation for the General Fund, the Bureau of Water, Sewer Fund, Highway Aid, Refuse and Recycling Fund, Road Tax Fund. The Treasurer is not here tonight. If there's any questions, we'll try to field them. All those in favor of accepting the report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. The next is accounts payable for the general fund, the Bureau of Water, the sewer fund, refuse and recycling funds. All the checks that were written during the past month. Are there any questions on the bills?
I have one question, and this probably comes up every quarter, and being my age, every 3 months I forget what it is, but, there's a bill there for $25,784 for the Township of Spring rental charges for Q3. What is that?
Chances are, there's a portion of Wyomissing Hills that goes to Spring Township, and that's a sewer charge. I don't know why it's not labeled sewer charge, but
Right.
I'm assuming that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is, sewer charge.
We also have capacity in that interceptor that comes down from Lincoln Park.
Into Lincoln Avenue.
And we contribute the flow to that thing, so it could be a charge for that as well.
Interconnecting all those pipes, right? Okay. Any other questions on the accounts payable? All those in favor of accepting that report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Tax collector's report, Betsy.
It's about the same place I was last year, all good.
Okay. Any other, no comment? Got it?
You want my song and dance, or?
No, no thanks, we'll pass on
Okay.
that. All those in favor of accepting the tax collector's report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Next item of business is old business. And this is for discussion of anything not listed on the agenda. Steve, I think we have a budget to pass.
Yep. So, we need a motion I'll make a motion to approve the 2022 budget. Some highlights are, there's no tax increase. It is a proposed deficit of $2.485 million. If that came to fruition, keeping in mind that we had a deficit last year, we ended up with a positive variance, we would still be further ahead than we had in our proposed budget for the current year. So I think we worked pretty diligently. We're trying to get the roads fixed. We're trying to improve everything around the borough. Obviously, things are getting more expensive, contracts are getting more expensive, and I think we've done a great job getting a proposed budget to the point of $21,838,472. And I'll make a recommendation to approve that budget.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please, Melissa.
Councilmember Boucher,
Yes.
Councilmember Woodard,
Yes.
Councilmember Brenner,
Yes.
Councilmember Jenks,
Yes.
Councilmember Menon,
Yes.
and Council President Wall.
Yes.
Thank you again to the finance team and Michelle's team for all that work.
Rick?
We have a number of thank yous, really is what it amounts to. There are some folks that have served the borough that we would like to recognize. They will be stepping down from their respective positions after many years of service. I'm going to take these a bit out of order. Melissa has resolutions for us to recognize them. We have first Eric, a resolution of the Council of the Borough of Wyomissing, Berks County, Pennsylvania, in recognition of the dedication and contributions of Eric Escobar, to the Borough of Wyomissing. He was a longtime member of the Recreation Board who served as its chair. So I would ask that one of you would be willing to make a motion and
So moved.
pass that.
Second.
Second?
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
The next one is a similar resolution of the Council of the Borough of Wyomissing, Berks County, Pennsylvania, in recognition of the dedication and contributions of Larry Walsky to the Borough of Wyomissing. Larry was a really long-time member of our Park and Shade Commission, served as its chair for quite a while as well. And I would ask that one of our members of council make that motion.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Thirdly, one more resolution of Council of the Borough of Wyomissing, Berks County, Pennsylvania, recognition of the dedication and contributions of Jeffrey Stout to the Borough of Wyomissing. Jeff was also a longtime member of our Park and Shade Tree Commission. I would ask once more for a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Now, the other three are members of our governing body, and this is always a bittersweet sort of thing to have folks leave our council, but they all have their reasons, and we respect that, and we would like to recognize their contributions. In addition to the resolution, we have always offered a collage of photographs to do with the borough that we try to customize a little bit to recognize their particular areas of primary interest. Melissa did a wonderful job of putting these together for us, and I thank her for her very large efforts in that regard, part of which is the research department. I think, Melissa, we had to figure out, okay, what year did they start, and go back through old borough annual reports and so on to ascertain some of that stuff. Hopefully we got it right. There was always a chance that we might have missed something, but I don't think so. So first off, Jody Menon. Jody, if you, where are these things? We got it over here. So Jody, first we have for you, you were a member of our august group here from 2019 to this year, 2021. We have some photos on here from the park system. You served on the library board, so that's noted for a hall. Some historic photos from the area that is now the knitting mills. Kids skating on the pond, and an old shot from the original borough swimming pool and so on. So we are very pleased, Jody,
Thank you so much.
to give you
That's
this,
wonderful.
and thank you very much.
Thank you all so much. I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity to serve the borough. I'm proud to live here, and I'm very appreciative too of my fellow council members, the mayor, and our wonderful borough staff for making my time here pleasurable. So thank you.
Well, thank you again. We can't thank you enough, and we wish you the best. And don't be a stranger.
You know where to find me.
Our next one is for Councilman Tom Boucher. Tom has served as on our council from 2006 to 2015. He has served as the second vice president from 16 to 17, and the council vice president from 18 to present for this year. We have a similar thing here with some historic photographs and so on. Tom, you are carrying on a family tradition, as I was very pleased and honored to serve with both your father, Ted Boucher, and your uncle, Dave Boucher, and the Boucher family's contribution to this community is without parallel. I mean, it's just remarkable when you put it all together. And we thank you, and Tom, for happy to give you this collage. Tom, of course, will continue to serve the borough in his capacity as the director of the Western Berks Emergency Management Group.
Great.
So he's still involved with that. Tom also was a longtime member of the fire department, served as our fire chief. And Tom, thank you very, very much. Lastly,
I have just one, I have a lot, but I just want to say, thank you for the gift. I started with the borough myself in 1964 with the rec department maintenance. Worked for Phil Bertland, if anybody remembers him. And he called me Tom. He never had my name right. I worked there for about 10 years.
he called you some other things though too, but that's.
Yeah, he did call me some other things if I messed them up, but, that wage was $1 an hour in '64, and my salary or my wage went down when I got on council. So that's 57 years. My grandfather, according to Dave, started as the first air raid warden, or titled that back with the Civil Defense back in 1934. And I just want to say it's been a privilege to serve with all of you and the borough.
Thank you. Our last collage is, as you might have guessed by now, for our outgoing Borough Council President, Tom Mall. Tom is another long-time participant in this community, having started as a patrolman in our police department, became a sergeant. After retirement, worked over at Vanity Fair as part of the Berkshire Knitting Mills and Sewing organization over there. Has served on council since 2006, came aboard the same time Tom Boucher did. He was our second vice president, 2012 to 15, and is the council president today since 2016. So he has served a long time with us and has contributed mightily. And his collage includes a photograph from the library, which is a passion of his. We have long supported the library, which was founded by the original Mr. Choon's wife. But it got to the point where we felt it was important that we took over ownership of the facility. The library board, of course, runs the programs and so on. The borough now is responsible for the structure and the maintenance of it. Tom was always worried about it falling into disrepair or whatever, and as those costs mounted, he believed firmly that it was the right thing to do. I know was an advocate for years to make that happen. That has happened, and we're very pleased to have that facility here across the street. So Tom, you've done a fine job, and we can't, of course, thank you dearly enough. Thank you.
Just a word, this is my 40th year. Don't have as many as Tom. Almost. Of serving this community. And we came on council, Tom and I, to a community run by a good organization of great council people. And I'm leaving it the same way. This just hasn't changed. It's been great. It's been a pleasure to work with everybody in this room. I'm not really leaving that far. I'm going to stay on with the finance committee as the assistant treasurer, but Just can't retire just quite yet. But, I do appreciate this, and I'll always think of you people. Great. Don't ever forget it. Thank you.
Thank you. As luck would have it, we have 3 new council members who are all with us this evening. So we have Fred Mogul, Ron Stanko, and I think Janet Barnett is over on the side. You 3 of you have big shoes to fill. So we, as you might expect, will be expecting a lot of you, but we know without any question whatsoever of your terrific qualifications, and we will not skip a beat here. So welcome aboard. Next month at this time, you'll be sitting over here, and we look forward to that. Thank you.
So Fred, do we need to read those resolutions into the minutes?
I don't know if we have to formally read them, unless Chris tells us to, but we do need to have motions to accept those last 3. So we need a motion and a second to approve the resolution for Jody and Tom to thank them for their service. So if one of you would make such a motion, I'd appreciate it.
So, somebody willing to make a motion for resolution 2021-28, 2021-29, and 2021-30?
I'll make that motion.
Oh, you didn't get a motion.
Oh, yeah. You can't say if I say no.
We have a motion, do we have a second? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Reluctantly.
Reluctantly. And motion carries, thank you very much. The last item on the agenda is public comment related to anything that's on the agenda. Mr. Jadick.
Sorry, wanna go ahead? I brought this several times to your attentions. I brought you some samples. Sorry, I didn't plan on this. This is our water. Okay, let me put it here. Sorry, I didn't know this can leaked. And filter. Okay, I brought this several times, nothing was done. I told you also several times that the filter comes clean. So there is obviously inconsistency in water quality, total dissolved solids. This is right now. I took this off on 25th of November, replaced it with a brand new one, took that on 8th of November, it looks the same way. So, like I said, I brought it up since 2019, this is the same problem, nothing was done. I don't need to remind you, there are many people in Wyomissing, thousands of people that cannot afford a filtration system. They're drinking this. I don't think that your attitude was correct to ignore. We just went, did some tests right after we flushed the system, so of course the test came out okay. We need continuous monitoring, we need independent monitoring, we need better job than this. Any questions?
I think that's under the purview of Mr. Babb, and he's certainly, they monitor the water.
Well, here it is.
Well,
I live across the street from Mr. Jadick, and my water doesn't look like that.
Well, do you have a sample? I brought a sample.
hi.
Hi. The council passed about a half a dozen resolutions which were worded something like approve, deny, or table. So I don't know what you did. You didn't approve things. And to the extent that you needed to approve something, if that was the motion to approve, deny, or table, I would suggest that you review those and make a motion to approve if that was your intention. And beyond that, I would like to thank everybody on council and the mayor for their service. It is very time consuming, but everybody is clearly dedicated and is working to the best interest of the borough. I want to thank you all.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I have one real quick.
Certainly.
My name's Herb Lovett. I live up on Deborah Drive in the hills. And just wanted to bring to you guys' attention the intersection there at Deborah and Wingert. I took some photographs. Basically, what I've noticed in the last 4 years I've lived there is the neighborhood is changing over. There's more kids moving in. We have a huge influx of new families, a lot of kids. And there's no safe way for these children to cross the street to get to the pool or respectively the park that's over there. So I'd like you guys to just take a look at doing something here up in this area of Wingert, Deborah, Valley, and Gale Circle. And yeah, so here you can see a family crossing here. A mom with a little girl and a dog just right in the middle of the intersection there. Very next slide was a car that was just in that same spot a few seconds later. So I did take a couple more with my drone, and here's the crosswalk from the pool to the park, which is, you know, marked with ADA ramps and stuff. So I would just like you guys to look at doing something, you know, so people can get from Deborah over to the park. We get a lot of people walking across our house, you know, across the street to get to either the pool in the summertime or to the park. So, there's another one. Yeah, so just, that's why I'm here. Just like for it to be looked at. I know budgets are tight, money's tight, but these are kids, you know, and
Understand.
matter of fact, that lady in the photo is a Wyomissing school teacher and my neighbor. So, just would like for that to be considered in the future.
Okay, well, we'll just give that to Chief Phillips and let him go out and, take a look at the problem and
Appreciate that.
photographs, and, then we'll let him take that up with the Fire and Police Committee at, their meeting in January.
Okay.
Because we've got a little bit of time before the pool opens again.
Yeah, and I mean, there has been speeding complaints up there. They've had the signage up there. We appreciate that. But there, like I said, the whole neighborhood's changing over with baby boomers moving out, our generation moving in, and there's just a ton of kids up there. So,
That's a good thing. Okay, so the chief will look into that, and he'll report back to,
I mean, I have real estate information, you know, with how many homes have been sold up in there. We had a car flipped on Wingert on September 26th, you know, right when somebody's walking. I don't know if you remember that one. Destroyed some guy's cement mailbox.
a car flip.
Yeah, I mean, it's 25 miles an hour, but this guy was leaving the pool, I guess. I apologize for my printer. I don't have the best ink, but, you know, people walk at that time of night. So there's some speeding issues going on up there, and really the crossing to get to either the pool or the park is my main concern. I walk over there with my kids. I see a lot of people doing it, so I'm gonna leave this with you guys.
Okay.
You know, it's all, you guys can look at what you want. There's a ton of photos in there, and, you know, just asking for it to be looked at.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care of it.
I can write it on there.
Anything else? If not, we will stand adjourned. Thank you very much. It's been great.
Happy New Year, everybody.